Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Dear students, hope you all of you are fine. Let's do pauses today. We had discussed the terminal punctuation in the previous lecture. The topic of our today's lecture is the pauses. Comma, semicolon, and colon are called pauses in English grammar as they make us stop at certain points in our sentences. As we had discussed earlier in the previous lecture, that pauses and stops, they are very important in any language, spoken language or written language. As if there are no pauses, if we speak or if we utter or if we write something without any gaps, without any pauses, things will mix up. They would become vague, unclear. We won't be able to understand them. So the pauses, comma, semicolon, and colon, they are very important punctuation. They are important symbols, and they make us stop at certain point in sentences. We stop while we utter something. When we put those utterances in written form in sentences, when we write them, so the pauses and the stops, they are represented by these small symbols, the comma, the semicolon, and the colon. Let's do the comma today. A comma is a punctuation mark, just like other punctuation marks we had discussed in our previous lecture. It's represented by the symbol um, which I have written here. Okay, this is the symbol of comma. It's just like that of the apostrophe and single quotation mark, but the difference only is it's placed at the baseline of the text, unlike that of an apostrophe and quotation mark, which are placed at the top of the text. It is placed at the baseline of the text. Its function, there are many functions of comma. It can be used variously in text. So I have coined a few of the uses of comma here for you people. So hopefully it would be helpful for you people. Now this is the symbol of comma. It has been taken from the Greek word comma, which originally meant a cut off piece, or you can say specifically it was meant to represent a short class in grammar. So a cut off piece, it meant originally meant in in Greek, in Greek language. Okay, so, what are the uses of comma? It's very important for us how to use comma and where the comma is used. There are a few uses of comma. Let's say comma is a very strong punctuation. Now, as we discussed, the pauses are very important. So, we have a few examples here. On just looking into that examples, we can be able to understand whether the pauses are important or not. What is the function of comma? So there are a few sentences. Look, let's eat grandma. Let's eat grandma. If there is no comma after let's, look, let's eat grandma. Okay, look at the meaning of these two sentences. Let's eat grandma versus let's eat grandma. Okay, let's eat grandma means come friends, let's eat our grandma. Okay, versus let's eat grandma, you are addressing your grandmother. Mom, grandma, please come and let's have some meal, let's eat something. The second sentence is the panda eats shoots and leaves. The panda eats shoots and leaves. Versus, look, the panda eats shoots and leaves. Okay, look at the power of the comma. The panda eats shoots and leaves. It means it comes, it eats, it shoots something and leaves, goes away. And the second part, the second sentence tells us the panda eats something, eats what? Shoots the branches and the leaves, and the whole meaning is different from the previous one. Look at this sentence. A woman without her man is nothing. A woman without her man is nothing. Versus a woman without her man is nothing. Okay. The previous sentence, it tells us a woman without her man is nothing. If a woman hasn't got any man, she is nothing. But the second sentence, it tells us a woman without her man is nothing. Woman is such a creature that without that creature, man is nothing. Such a powerful punctuation. So the punctuations are very powerful and can really mix things up if placed at wrong places. So we should understand where to place these punctuation marks as we are doing the comma today. So let's discuss some of the uses of the comma. The most common usage of comma is to separate items in a list. For example, he uh, he brought he brought books, notebooks, erasers, and pencils. Now look, he brought books, notebooks, erasers, and pencils. There are certain items in the list: books, notebooks, eraser, and pencils. They are separated by the comma, which are placed after every item at the baseline of the text. Look, books, after books we have placed comma, notebooks we have placed comma, erasers, and after this is called coordinating conjunction. And in American English, just before the coordinating conjunctions, comma is placed there, but in British English, which we are following, the Queen's English, comma is not placed before the coordinating conjunctions. The second example usage of comma is placed after the adverbs and linking words in sentences when they are not the integral part of the sentences, but used there to link or to elaborate them. Now, if some, it's called non-part of the text, non-part of the sentences. For example, if we have got the adverb of sentences, if we have got the linking verbs, basically they are not the integral part of the sentences. They are used there to elaborate or to link something. So if we have such adverbs or if we have such linking words, comma is placed just after them. For example, luckily he found his talent. Now luckily is not the part of this sentence, it's there as an adverb. He found his talent is the sentence, but luckily is a separate part. It's not the integral part of the sentence. So to separate those parts in sentences, those words in sentences which are not the part of the sentence, comma is used. Luckily, after luckily, comma is placed here. He found his talent. Unfortunately, look, unfortunately is not the part of this sentence. The pandemic couldn't be controlled yet. The pandemic couldn't be controlled yet is the actual sentence. Unfortunately is used as an adverb here. Okay, he worked really hard. However, he was not serious about his plan. He was not serious about his plans is the real sentence. However, has been used as subordinating conjunction, or it has been used as a linking word which links the idea from the previous sentence to this one. He was a real aspirant of CSS, therefore he cleared the examination. Therefore is also not, it's a linking verb, it links both the parts together. Okay, comma is also used to address someone. When you're addressing someone, so you have to use a comma after the name or after the name of the person whom you are calling. For example, if I say, Angela, come here and help me. Angela, come here and help me. Now, after Angela, the comma is used. So, when it's written somewhere, the reader would understand that Angela has been addressed in this sentence. Madam, can you please give me a few minutes? Madam, can you give me a few, can you please give me a few minutes? Here, if this madam is after comma, this sentence has been written somewhere, so the reader would understand that madam has been addressed. The fourth usage of comma is it's placed in complex sentences when the subordinating conjunction is placed at the beginning of sentences. For example, because it has rained heavily, we cancel the picnic. Now, because is the subordinating conjunction. If it is placed at the beginning of the sentence, a complex sentence, we have to put a comma after the end of this subordinating clause, okay, or the dependent clause. Just before the start of the independent class, we have to put a comma. Because it rained heavily, now a comma there. Because it rained heavily, we cancelled the picnic. Okay, but if the sentence would have been like, we cancelled the picnic because it rained heavily, so there is no need of putting a comma there. When the subordinating conjunction, when it is used at the beginning of the complex sentence, we have to put a comma just after the end of the dependent clause. But when the conjunction is used at the middle of the sentence, there is no need to use a comma. So hope this lecture is useful for you people and helpful for you people. So we'll do the next punctuation marks in the upcoming lectures. Thank you very much.